into your heart. There is no reason to believe that you can't fly. When you find your purpose, you will feel alive. There is no reason to believe that you can't fly. When you find your purpose, find your purpose.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Navigate Your Purpose podcast. This is episode 4, and I have the honor and privilege to have Riapo from Sons of Zion, the lead singer, on this episode. So, welcome, my brother.
Thank you, my bro. Good to be here, bro. Good to be on your podcast. Bro, and just break bread and have a chat about my life, my experiences. I appreciate it, bro.
I think I want to clear the air about what happened on the other day. We actually done this podcast and had a mean-as corridor for an hour and a half, and I forgot to press the record button there. So hopefully,
it was a good catch-up anyway, bro.
Yeah, hard. Because if you can just want to get a bit of an insight into your life and as a musician, as a father, as a Maori man out there doing his thing and following your dreams. If you can give us a brief rundown of your childhood, cousin, where it all started.
So ko tarawera te maunga, ko puaringa te awa, ko te aroa te waka, ko te rangi te iwi, ko Ngāti Waihao te hapu, ko te Pākehā te marae, no Rotorua hau. So bro, I grew up in Rotorua pretty much my whole childhood. Got 2 little brothers and 1 older sister. Music's always been a big part of my life. I grew up in church, and that's kind of where I started playing music. But probably one of the key themes of my childhood was my mum had a mental breakdown when I was 6, and she was pretty much in and out of hospital my entire childhood. So I guess that really, like I said, was a key theme, bro. It kind of set the tone for my younger years. Not having a mum or a consistent mum in my life presented a few challenges, bro. And but at the end of the day, like I was saying the other day, it kind of helped me. I used it as fuel, basically, bro, to make sure that I'm going to take this situation and not let it stop me from the things that I want to do, and make sure that that trauma is not passed down to my daughter. So, yeah. In
terms of thanks for sharing that, bro. It's pretty personal stuff in that, in regards to your mum. In terms of mental health, bro, like, how did you find that with the extended whānau having to deal with that? Because I know that mental health, there's that stigma and that stereotype in our culture, like it's sort of the understanding of it in the Western senses. We don't really understand, and we have our own kind of philosophy. That would have been a tough road. It was a tough road, bro. And we were definitely, from that point on, after mum got sick and was diagnosed with severe bipolar, we were definitely raised by a village, like the aunties and uncles and my nan, especially on my dad's side, definitely helped raise us. But definitely that stigma stuff, bro. Even from, friends who would come over, and if mum was home and she was sort of on that downward slope, she'd be doing strange things, bro, like just standing in the corner staring at nothing, and it's, for a young person, bro, that's really embarrassing, bro. But the awesome thing is now is that mum's good and well, and awesome. Bro, I just, for me, life's too short, bro, to ponder on what happened back then. It's more about loving my mum now, and she's an amazing grandmother. She's an amazing mum now, so I can either spend my days thinking about what wasn't or concentrate on what is now, and she's on now. So we're all, I think in my eyes, we're all chosen a path there in life, bro, and our lived experience is what shapes us. So if that didn't occur for you when you were young, you wouldn't be the same man today. That's
it, bro, and it's impossible to know what life would have looked at without that experience. So bro, you're right. That was my path. That was what was meant to happen for me.
What about so school, bro? Where did you start in school and?
So I did
school and high school years.
So I went to Kawaha Point Primary in Rotorua, then I moved on to Kaitaua Intermediate, and then I went to Rotorua Boys for a year, then Western Heights High School, which is another high school in Rotorua, for another year, and then my old man moved mahi up to Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, and we moved up to Auckland, and that was really, really good for myself personally and our family. to sort of get away from Rotorua, from a small town. You know, sometimes I guess it can be limiting, bro, if you don't get out of a small town. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. In terms of the music, where did that start, bro? Where did that cultivate? Has music always been a part of your life?
Yeah. Like both my parents are musical, and they were worship leaders at church when I was a bubba, when I was a young fella. So music's always been a part of our family, and that's really where it started for me, bro. Was at church, and then I kind of went on to learn how to read music and did music lessons and all that kind of stuff through my childhood. And then at school, I always did music. Like I pretty much wagged every other class to be in the music room hiding it, because just always walking around school with a guitar. Like I just.
Were you one of those? Because I remember, like, I've always loved music, and I was always my mates. They would go, like, you know, when we get to class, they'd be like, "Prac, sir, prac." You know, like doing the practical instead of the theory. Did you didn't mind both, both, or were you?
Nah, I was the same as you, bro. Yeah. Practical, bro. Yeah, just wanted to jam. But I'm glad, bro, that I learned how to read music, especially drum music. I was probably the most sort of theory side of things I did was with drumming. That was my first instrument.
Okay.
But yeah, bro, prac all day, just jamming.
Like most of the poly kids, excel in the prac and then hide in the theory.
Yeah.
Oh, true. So you do know a bit of, like, you actually know how to read music in that, like to play keys and stuff. You could read charts in that.
Yeah, I can, bro. I can't. When it comes to playing piano and that, I can't really sight read as I play. I can read it, but I have to go through it a few times. But you couldn't just put a chart in front of me and I can play along. Yeah. I can, but slowly. But with drum music, bro, I can just play along. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what instruments do you play, bro?
Play well or just play? Nah, I play drums, bass, guitar, a little bit of keys. Those are probably my main instruments. Yeah.
So having that all-round knowledge of the different instruments would definitely help in the songwriting process, eh? Yeah,
100%, bro. And that's the choice thing with the Sons boys, like the core team of us. We all sort of can play those instruments, well enough to put a demo down ourselves, flick it through to the boys, and then everyone can sort of have a listen and see what they think about it. Yeah, but we can get a basic structure together, individually, which is cool.
I mean, in terms of the band, the Sons of Zion band, where did you start, bro? Like, how old were you when you first started that concept, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, so I finished high school in 2005, and myself and Sam.
Say that again, bro. 2001?
5.
Nah. Yeah, I finished 2001.
Yeah. So finished in 2005, bro, and was still jamming at church at that time. Myself and the bro Sam, who's still in the band as well, and we were just like, should we just start? How we first started, bro, we were taking like church songs and remixing them into like reggae, reggae-fying these worship songs, bro. That's kind of how it started. And then we wrote a few ideas down, and we had the song called Up Above. That was our very first song, bro, me and the bro. And we recorded it on a little machine like this, bro. And then we played it back, and we were like, this is like not too bad. Like, seems all right. And then we just started putting covers out, like Bob Marley songs and some of our favourite New Zealand artists as well, like covering Catch a Fire, and started putting those out on Bebo, bro.
Yeah.
And YouTube,
Bebo days.
Bebo days, bro.
It had the mean layout, eh?
It did, bro. You could have your own skin. And
yeah.
Because like MySpace didn't really pop off in NZ, I don't know about over here.
Yeah, nah, I never. I created the page, but it wasn't.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone wasn't into it.
Yeah, so we did that, bro, and then a few people started liking those, and then myself and Sam were like, let's just start a band, bro. So we started the band, and then we just got a few more mates from church that were jamming with us, and we just started writing and recording on that little machine out of the bros garage in South Auckland. And then we just started.
What was the particular machine, bro, that you were?
It was I can't remember, bro. It was an Akai.
You're saying it was an 8-track?
Yeah, it was like a little 8-track, bro. Yeah. And it's funny, bro, because back in those days, because there wasn't social media or anything like that, bro, you had to like ring bars.
Yeah.
Like, actually ring and, hey, can we play at your bar? And they'd be like, nah, never heard of you, don't know who you are. Like, well, you could play on a Tuesday, or like, we're like, So we did that for ages, bro, just ringing pubs and trying to
you
get
didn't have
gigs.
social media like to show them what you got.
Bro, nothing, bro.
It has to be word of mouth.
All word of mouth, bro.
Yeah.
And like, can't blame them for not wanting to book us because
Yeah.
who the hell were we? You know, we're just a couple of kids, bro.
So lining up with the other 10 cuzzies heading the bar up.
Straight up, bro. You know, and now I look back at those days, bro. Like we used to go to Warehouse Stationery, bro, and like print posters, bro. You know, and like post them to the venue for them to stick in their windows. And times have changed, bro. You don't have to do any of that sort of stuff anymore, bro. But it was good learning, bro. You know, it's made me really grateful for how the industry is now. Like with our phones, bro, you can basically tell the whole world in a heartbeat. You know, this is what we're doing. This is the time. This is the date.
Yeah.
Back in those days, cuz there's none or Bebo, but you know.
Yeah. The young musicians these days, they don't know how hard it is to get yourself out there, and
bro,
gain that notoriety a bit.
100%, bro. Yeah. We drove around New Zealand for like, bro, maybe like 4 or 5 years, playing to maybe like 20 people, you know, 30 people, and then it went to 50 people, and then 100. I remember we used to do shows, and if there was like 100 people, we were like, oh, we cracked it, you know.
Are we on? We
made it. Yeah. But I was just a buzz, bro. I miss those days actually, bro. You know, the sort of days of just getting out there and playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's very much like manager, bookie, festival, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it was cool to just be poor as with my bros, just doing what we love.
Doing
bro.
what you love.
Yeah, it was me.
I think a lot of people that have been successful in the music industry, they say the come up is the most fun part.
It is, bro.
Once you're up there, you know, trying to sustain that and the pressure that comes with that.
Yeah.
Is that what it feels like for you, bro, when you already got a lot of hits out there? And
yeah, it is, bro. It is like that. Those years are definitely the most fun years. I remember the first tour we got booked was opening for Kora. And they just basically took a chance on us, bro. And I don't know, it was like $200 a night or something like that. And it was all over New Zealand. And like the fee couldn't even get us rooms, bro.
When was that, bro?
Oh, that would have been in 2007, I think, bro.
Yeah. That's not too far out of school.
Yeah, not too far out of school, bro.
Mean.
Yeah. So it was a buzz, cuz, and but like I say, because we were only getting like $200 a night or whatever, we couldn't even afford accommodation, bro. So we'd play,
stay in the van,
hit the beers, and then just sleep in the van, cause drive hungers to the next, you know,
just sleep at whoever's house was,
bro. Whoever's house.
Party.
Yeah, if someone was like, come back to our garage, oh, you're okay back there, get on it. And, bro, those are the days. It was cool, bro. But now it definitely feels a lot more like work. And not in a negative way, bro. I like you were saying, bro, there's a bit more, I guess, expectation of professionalism, structure, bro. Like, you know, we still like to have a good time, but we're very much, I guess, serious about our work, bro. Like, you know, when you sort of get in those slots at festivals, you want to respect that, bro, and come with your best game, not sharp, sloshed, and and so I try and be professional on stage, bro. I try and command the crowd and give them the 45 minutes of their life, hopefully. Yeah.
I definitely noticed that, bro, at the Good Love, the performance just recently, you know, definitely the right words to get the crowd going, you know, reaching out, brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Because you want to make them feel like family, bro. And because, to be honest, bro, for that 45-minute engagement, we are a family. You know, we're on a journey together, and so I guess we're trying to be the waka and trying to get everyone on board to go for this 45-minute journey with us, of highs, lows, paddle together, cuz
Oh, that's a mean analogy. Yeah. Bro, with going back to traveling with Kora, how was that like in terms of your musical experience and stuff? Because I know, is Brad predominantly the songwriter for LAB?
Yeah, he is.
I know they all do it together, but I did see that Brad was just that core there where he was the one producing majority of the stuff.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and definitely.
Pick his brain when
the captain of their ship. To be honest, bro, back in those days, I didn't, because I just didn't want to be a hoa. Like, I sort of worship those fellas, bro. You know, them and Catch a Fire, bro. Catch a Fire for me was kind of like a staple of my sort of teen years, like you know, back in NZ, bro. They were gods.
The soundtrack to your
to my early 2000s, late 90s. So a lot of the things that I do on stage, bro, I've taken from those fellas, you know, especially Logan Bell, who's the lead singer of Catch a Fire, kind of not on purpose, not copying, bro, but he just inspired me, and I think I've modeled a lot of the way that I speak to the crowd off the bro.
Yeah.
And it's cool now to call him the bro, you know, because for ages I was like, oh, Vai's the man on it, you know.
Oh, that's my bro, I know.
Yeah, now, you know, he's the cuzzy, and he's a very, very good friend, bro, which is cool.
Yeah, bro, Catcher, we definitely, and for New Zealand music, we definitely owe a lot to them and their commitment for what they've contributed, bro. And like we were talking about before, and the other day, the amount of touring that they're doing and the sacrifice that they're making away from their families, and it's a huge sacrifice, bro.
It's insane, bro. Like when we first won our first New Zealand Music Award, bro, it was for best roots artist, and when we got up to do our speech, bro, I actually dedicated that award to them, because like it's no secret, bro, that they didn't kick down lots of doors, especially for reggae, bro. Like you know, back in the days, bro, it was like impossible to get reggae on the radio. Yeah, you know, it was just seen as like a stoner's sort of music, you know. Yeah, and they really paved the way, bro, to normalise it.
Brought it into the mainstream.
Yeah, and like, you know, there's been other pioneers as well. Like before the bros was probably Herbs, you know, in the 80s.
Yeah, bro.
And there was a bit of a gap.
There was Herbs and Dread Beat and Blood. And I can't remember a couple of other ones, but yeah, and then there was a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, in the 90s, bro. In the 90s there was a bit of a gap. And then boys came through sort of late 90s with Giddy Up and
bro, those tracks when those came out, bro, those were just on repeat in the garage.
Yeah, so
and look at it now, look how many have sprung from that after that resurgence, bro, of the reggae.
100
for such a small country, when we think population wise, how many amazing bands there is and how much good music is coming out of Aotearoa.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, for such a small country, bro. And to have, you know, people out there winning Grammys, bro. Like even Lord, you know, like for a Kiwi to win a Grammy or OMC, you know, with How Bizarre and all the massive things they did back then. But now there's just so much good music, bro. There's, you know, you got your Drax Project, 660, LAB, Fat Freddy's, and all sorts, bro. Benny out there, you know, smashing it.
It's just like a culture, a vibe going on there, and everyone's pushing each other. I've been lucky enough to be at some of the festivals, you know, through the bro, Dion Tomata. He runs DT events. The bro's been mixing it over here in some of the events, and just seeing the culture and of the different musos, you know, Stan and you fellas, and everyone's close. It doesn't seem like a competitive thing or an ego thing. It's like literally, I've seen the bands on the side of the stage just to talk one another.
Yeah, it is very close, bro. And I guess it's such a small scene that you probably can't afford to be not close, or, you know, be a dickie.
Be an egg,
you know, because it's just like, bro, you don't have to be like that. Yeah, bro, I'm a massive supporter of New Zealand music, bro. Yeah, whoever it is, you know, because I think for me, bro, I know how challenging it is, bro, and what sort of mahi goes into doing music. So I respect anyone who gives it a nudge, bro.
Yeah, bro, definitely. We were talking about before with the, you know, the mental health side and even the, like, how, you know, the earning the living and the money, bro, like that comes with original music. It's a hard slog, in terms of trying to provide for a family, or if you have a partner, and slugging away at this dream that you have. How's it been for you, bro, in the earlier years when you were going for that dream?
Yeah, you're right, bro. It is hard. I was working out at the airport, bro, for you know, in those early years in SonsofZion, and then it got to a time where...
What were you doing out there?
I was working for customs parcels, bro, or like basically out at what would be equivalent to like Australia Post. But out there at the Auckland airport, and it came to a time, bro, where I needed more and more days off, you know, to do SonsofZion stuff, to go touring, and my boss was like, bro, you're always off there.
Bro, are you here?
You're trying to get every Friday off, man. Nah. But the awesome thing was, bro, actually my boss really loved music. And he actually, his name was Alan, and he actually really believed in what I was doing. But it was more so like his managers.
Your mixtapes.
Yeah. So he was always cool with it, but I guess it was like higher management who was like, oh, this cuz he's always off, you know. Like, so it came to a time anyway, bro, where I got to a crossroads where I needed to really choose, you know, am I going to really give this music thing a nudge? And thankfully, bro, at the time, my partner, my ex-wife at the time, Tammy, she was amazing, bro. She always believed in my dream, you know, and she really held it down at home, and I guess took away that stress of the bills and not having a solid income, so that I could go and pursue my music, bro. Yeah. So for me, bro, I was having a strong, awesome wahine at home to really, look after us, bro, and see us through, because it was tough, bro. Making nothing, you know. Some weeks we'd do a gig and I might get like $400, you know. That's peanuts, cuz.
It is, bro. It's a big shout out to any wahine or any partner, even for female singers and their partners, like any partners of musicians. It's a testament to them, standing by them, because when you're watching someone go for their dream and they're not catering to some of the stuff that needs to get catered to, you're like
100, bro. The bills don't stop, bro. The lights still need to turn on, the water needs to work, the roof needs to stay there. So yeah, bro. Yeah, shout out to Tam. She really, I owe my career to her, actually, in music. Yeah,
bro, that's huge.
Because if I didn't leave the airport, I'd probably still be at the airport, you know. Yeah,
you could have done away with that dream.
Yeah, because it's always scary, bro. And like, you know, thinking, is this actually going to work? Are we actually going to make it? And because the thing too, bro, is that like I always back myself, but with Sons of Zion, because it's a ropu, like it's a group, you actually need to know that everyone's on the same page. Like, are we all going to dive in together? Like, I can't just dive in, you stay at work.
Yeah.
You know, we're all in there if we're going to do it.
Yeah, it is. You have to be in 100%. It's a big sacrifice to make. I'm at the other end of that road, because like I've always wanted to be a successful singer and be on those big stages and that, but I went the cover route to stay sort of safe and keep putting money on the table and that. And bro, so big props to you fellas and the sacrifices you made. I know what that would entail. You come to that crossroads, bro, and especially if you got kids coming into the equation and that, you just like, do I or don't I?
And I think it's with anything, bro, like not just music, just even when people have got a side hustle of some sort, like I don't know, they might have a little product that they sell online or whatever, and then it's that, you know, when push comes to shove, bro, and it's like, man, I can take it to the next level, but it's going to require 80 hours a week, you know, and so that means no job. But to have a supportive partner or whānau or some sort of support network that you can sort of fall back on, bro. That's mean if you can have that.
Because I was thinking about that for any aspiring musicians in New Zealand or around Polynesia, and that what would you like? I was thinking, you know, especially when you're young, if you don't have a resume or a job to fall back on, do you think it would be smart to sort of build a little, you know, get some formal education just to have something to fall back on, so you can, if you're going back and forth to the music and back to mahi, because when you don't have that resume built, that's really hard financially.
It is, bro. I think you can go two ways about it, bro. Like you can definitely do that side of things. So when I left high school, bro, I was head boy of my kura, and then I was actually going to be a lawyer, bro. That's what I was gonna do, but then I got sick of having no money, being a student, you know. So that's when I first went out to the airport, bro. Because I got a job and I was like, fuck, man, I'm making like, I was rubbish, bro. I was like $300 a week or whatever. But when you had nothing, like that was heaps. So I think you can do that, bro. Or I think there's actually a beauty too, bro, in having no fallback plan, because then
you're all in there.
You're forced, because
what's that analogy? I think the general that burned the boats. Bro, you're going to some place, you burn the boats and you can't go back.
That's it, bro. So there's beauty there too. But I think it probably takes a very particular kind of person there who's absolutely driven if you're going to go that route. Because like you say, bro, if you burn the boat, no way back, because unless you want to swim,
go forward. Mean, bro. What so in terms of the original music, when you started getting involved in that, what because me, like I've had experience of doing a few songs here and there, just recording and hearing your voice and that buzz. What was it like for you when you first started recording your vocals and having some originals to give out to whānau and stuff like that?
It was a buzz, bro. It was I can remember it like super clear, bro, and vividly. And I can remember actually doing that, bro, like, cuz jump on the car, we'd listen to it in the car, and because I had this little like boy racer WRX, bro, back in the day, and I thought it was cool, but it had like subs, you know, had sounds in there, blast it, and see what the cuzzies thinking.
Did you have it where you're like the song wasn't even complete, like you might
not
have
even
just had a verse,
bro,
like,
not even complete,
this.
bro, kind of tell them it's just a rough before, but cuz it was a buzz.
One of my cousins, Leighton, he lives back home in Tauranga, and he's got a band. Yeah. And he's a huge fan of you, bro. Huge fan of Sons of Zion, and he wanted me to ask you a question about the songwriting process. And do you have a particular formula when you're approaching the songwriting process, like in terms of figuring out the melodies and the vocals, the lyrics, the bass lines?
Yeah, bro. Our process is pretty much the same. Every time one of the boys or myself will come up with an initial sort of concept, melody, and maybe some words. But even if not words, just like hum something in, and then we kind of present that to the band. Yeah. Then everyone we kind of do like a dope or nope kind of session. Like, oh, yo, nah, like let's pursue that, or nah, I don't reckon, or. But once we decide to pursue it, then everyone sort of adds their layers of what they think, and so we probably overproduce it to start with. We just chuck in everything, all different sounds, and and then we refine it and pull stuff out, strip it back, bro, and try and get it back to its like just what needs to be there, and nothing else, because we've definitely made songs in the past that are like too much is happening, because trying to be too flash. And
because do you believe like less is best?
Less is best, because or just whatever serves the song, that's a big thing,
whatever's complementing,
bro. And even like our live stage stuff now, we try and all serve the music, not me out there like come on, bro.
Your lead guitarist is a shredder,
he's a shredder, bro.
I was talking to him
so just pick moments, like shred there, but don't shred all day. And that's for all of us though, like even for Willie on the drums, or he could be chopping all over the show, which is impressive, but only to the drummers and the crowd.
Because rein it back in. Bro, I used to have an 8-piece live band, and one of my bros, bro, probably one of the best guitarists in Brizzy. Yeah. But sometimes he would, bro, just shred harder, and
shred on a love song.
Me and the bro used to have the joke, bro, and we used to call him our pitbull. And we're like, bro, rein your pity back in there. And you just
the bro,
and we're just the bros are playing, and they're like, oh, bro, mean.
Because he's going to town.
But so. That songwriting process, I've always wanted to know how you approach that. And even like for you as a band, bro, like it sounds like you've got a good bond where you might pitch an idea, and if it's not reciprocated by everyone, then that's
it's all good, bro. It's all good. Because I think now like service is probably the theme of our band. Service to the band, service to the song. Like it's not about my personal what I think is me. If the band doesn't think that it serves the purpose of the band, or they can't see it being a song that we want to pursue, then it's not personal. But it takes a bit of maturity and time to get there, bro.
Because that's a special bond, bro, because egos can come into play if you didn't have egos in that, and it sounds
used to be back in the day. Nah, the song's me.
Bro, so back to the songwriting process. There's a few songs, bro. Like, can you? I'll maybe go for a couple of songs, maybe just 3, so we don't go for too long. Can you just tell us how that song came about, like who wrote it, and just how you came up with that concept, or how you built it, bro? Like, maybe the song Talo. I love that song.
Bro. So Talo was written when I was about to propose to ask my partner at the time to marry me. That song, bro, was one of those ones that like came to me really fast and like easily, and I think it's because I don't have to try and think of it, I wasn't thinking
force
too hard.
Feed it, it's within there.
Yeah, bro, Well, all I was basically doing was saying how I felt, so that was a really, really beautiful song, bro, and that's one of my favorite songs, because it's probably my most pure writing, like you say, bro, unforced. It wasn't like a logic thing or like a thinking thing. It was more like a puku thing, or a heart thing, So yeah, bro, I actually put that 99% of that song together myself, bro, and then I sent it through to the boys, and it was choice because they were like, that's pretty much ready to go. You know,
did they like it?
They liked it, bro. You know, and the boys just added a few sprinkles on top, but majority of that song was, just made at home, bro, myself, and so that was cool. And then a song like Drift Away, bro, that was written by Matt Sagrove, who's our bass player, and he actually wrote that watching the movie Inception, bro.
Okay.
I don't know how that inspired like such a beautiful love song like Drift Away, but it's actually quite a sad song too, bro. Like if you listen to it closely, it's about sort of having a summer with somebody and then, you know, going back to your normal life and missing that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, so that was written by Matt, and with that song, bro, because it's just acoustic guitar, when we first presented it to our label, and they took it around to a few of the radio stations, the feedback that we got was, it's mean, but it sounds like a demo, like, because there's no instruments, no drums, and we as a band, we were like, we tried to put instruments into it and like make it into like more poppy or whatever, and we're just like, nah, we like it acoustic, like that's it, and you just can, you know, have it or whatever, but we're gonna stand by the fact that we like it stripped back. Bro, and it's one of our most successful songs, bro. You know, so I'm proud of the fact that we as a band chose to stand by what we thought. You know, not overproduce it. So because it's basically just a foot stomping and guitar the entire track, which is cool, bro. So that's sort of the whakapapa of that song. And then what's another one?
What was the one we were talking about the other day?
Tello. Yeah, Tello. Yeah. So that was the one that I wrote year before proposing. I'm just trying to think of another song that's probably got a little bit of an interesting. We did another song called Crazy, bro, that we released about 2 years ago. And we did a writing sort of trip. We went and moved over to LA to try and get new inspiration, bro, be in a new setting, you know, and just try and get inspired by being over in LA.
Did you stay? How long did you stay there for?
So we ended up staying there for a few weeks, and then we came back, and then we were supposed to go back and finish up all the ideas that we created over there, but then COVID happened, bro. So this was at the end of 2019. Went to LA, and then we wrote the song called. I wrote the song called Crazy, and then we did like an initial demo, and then COVID happened, and we sat on it because we couldn't get together as a band, bro, because we weren't allowed to leave our houses and come together, you know. So we never ended up finishing the song properly, and then it went stale, bro. Like we couldn't think of any new ideas, and it was hard to like reinvigorate because we hadn't seen each other for ages, and so we ended up sending it off to one of the bros, Devin Abrams, who's one of the original members of Shapeshifter. And he just totally revamped the song, bro. So I guess where I'm going with that, bro, is sometimes when things go stale, it's awesome to get a new pair of ears, a new set of hands on the song to take it where it needs to go. I don't know if you've ever got stale on ideas, bro. Like
it could be a blessing in disguise, just when you thought this is the way it was going to be. Cause to be somewhere else,
bro. And it came out still the same song, but from a completely different angle, which was cool.
Mean, bro. It always fascinates me about the songwriting process. Like, do you ever find sometimes, you know, when you're creating ideas or when a moment of inspiration comes to you, do you wonder where? I think it was what's the Coldplay? What's the lead singer of Coldplay? Chris.
What's his name?
The lead that he was saying when he gets those moments of inspiration, he doesn't question it, like where it comes from. He just he just trusts, like it's just like
just goes with it
or wherever. From that higher place,
bro. He's a beast, bro. His writing so mean.
It is
like lights will guide you home. Like that's such a simple sentence, right? Lights will guide, but it's simple but effective, bro. Everything he writes, bro, is like. I feel like I can tell that he's not like over analyzing what he's writing. He just writes it.
From the pure place.
Bro, and it's so relative, you know, the stuff that he writes.
Do you get those moments, bro, where you just know, like...
I do, bro. And when I do, bro, I'm like, yes. because I don't have to think too much. You know?
Have you ever had those moments where, because I've been a songwriter off and on for years, and I've never made it to that level, but I know that feeling, bro, that burning thing inside when you know something, this is a great idea, or it's a moment. Do you ever get woken up in your sleep, bro? Or like,
yeah, bro, yeah, I do, bro, and or like in the most random places, and I just chuck it into voice record, bro, on my phone, and or even like sometimes concepts, like I'll just write down the concept on notes.
Yep.
Yeah, because sometimes, bro, once you've lost it, you can't remember it.
Yeah.
So I just quickly hum it in, or try and document it, bro, for whenever I get together with the boys, and try and flesh it out then,
So if you get, like, say if you just come up with a song concept, and you're like, I definitely want to write about this, how do you then approach the next step, bro?
Yeah, so I always write on guitar, bro. Yeah, not always, I sometimes write on keys, but mostly on guitar. When I think about the concept, bro, I try and think of how that concept makes me feel, and then I'll just play chords, bro, on the guitar, and I'll try and, obviously if it's a sad song, it's probably going to be a minor.
You use minor chords,
minor chords, or so yeah. But I try not to force it too much, bro. My hands just kind of go, all over the fretboard until I find something that I think fits the song and makes that feeling come alive. If that makes sense, bro. Yeah.
In terms of like, you're just mucking around with different chords.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered, because I can play guitar but very basic, and when I was trying to approach the songwriting process, like I came across the Nashville number system, like the specific. Do you have like particular chord progressions that are like a R&B feel or a blues feel or a reggae feel? Yeah,
bro. Yeah, there's definitely those foundational chord progressions, bro. Like that are blues. Or that are country, or that are like a lot more poppy, or the poppy stuff is always really sort of simple. The R&B stuff, definitely, bro. What I'm trying to get to, bro, there's those foundations, but I try and sort of go between. Just try and find what fits.
Sounds like you just have a tattoo,
Just have a tattoo, bro.
It just comes,
not digging too hard, bro. Just playing.
Mean. Bro, I might go off the topic of music for a bit and talk about cryptocurrency and the NFTs and the Eager Beaver project that you've got going on. Because can you, for anyone that doesn't know that you're involved in that Eager Beaver and NFT project, can you give us a bit of a rundown on how that came about and what that's all about? Yeah, bro. So I've always, for the last few years, bro, I've been very into cryptocurrency and just trying to diversify, I guess, my finances and stuff like that, to make sure that my daughter in the future, I'll leave her something, for her to sort of leap off when she's a big girl. And then sort of like in the last 12 months, NFTs sort of presented themselves in the space. And because there was COVID and myself and the other Sons boys, we weren't able to play gigs, bro. Like, couldn't have crowds, that sort of stuff. So I just saw an opportunity, bro, within NFTs to be able to continue to connect with our fans, and then also be able to do our music in a way where ourselves as artists can retain the lion's share of our mahi, and not lose it to a big corporate label. Greedy. And to be honest, bro, like I'm not a hater on labels, bro. Like our label that we were with, there's been awesome things that they've done for us, bro. They open up doors that
open up doors.
Really hard to do yourself.
Yeah, bro. Especially in the early days, bro. Like me and the cuzzies, we couldn't just rock up to big I don't know, corporates or even radio stations, bro, and be like, check us, can you play this?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
But they have the connections with all of those different facets that you need, bro,
they have
to get your music out there.
That's it, cuz, and so like for me, bro, like I say, bro, I don't hate labels or whatever. I just, now I think where we are as a band and where technology's at, you can just instantly connect, bro, and you can kind of take out everyone in between, between me as the artist and those people as the fans of our music. We don't have to have all these other people that are kind of taking bits and pieces. I think it can be balanced now, bro, with artists that are under a record label, as well as
getting some individual, investments that you're making, and you're getting proceeds back from that, as well as serving the record label when you're doing your festivals and stuff.
That's right, bro. Yeah, it can be a bit more of a combination. Anyway, bro, that's Eager Beaver is that, bro. It's about building a community that connects artists and fans to all, I guess, take part in the spoils, bro, that come from their artists' mahi, so they invest into the Eager Beaver project. Ourselves as Sons of Zion can go away and make an album, and we're giving 10% of our royalties to the Eager Beaver holders. But the bigger plan, or like the bigger vision, is to have multiple artists putting music out through this avenue that we've created of Eager Beaver, and those Beaver holders continuing to receive royalties from more artists.
Yeah,
that's sort of the big vision, bro. Yeah.
So I know Stan and Kings have been.
Yeah.
Are they involved in the project?
They're involved in the project. So Kings is our creative director, and Stan has really come on as an ambassador for the project, and just supporting what we're doing. To have someone of his caliber, especially back home in Aotearoa, he is.
He's unofficially everybody's cousin.
Yeah, that's right, bro. Yeah, that's right, because he's an icon. And I'm lucky enough to call him a brother and a friend, and so for him to trust me with what I was doing with Eager Beaver and become jump on board was huge, bro. But yeah, that's what Eager Beaver's about, cuz.
When you first came up with that concept and you're like, I'm going to do an NFT project, how did that feel like? Do you get nervous, bro? Or you just relentless when you got something?
I do get nervous, bro, but my appetite for risk, or maybe not risk, but more like trying things is really, really high, bro. And I think that's been developed over the years of just trying stuff. Like with Sons of Zion, I guess I can look at Sons of Zion and I can think to myself, I've done it before. Like I've built a community before. I've built a community of people who love Sons of Zion.
Yeah.
So I know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's just in a different area.
Yeah.
In a new space. But I think a lot of the values and things that you have to do to build a community still apply wherever you take it. So I'm sort of one of those fellas, bro. I'll jump off a cliff with all the means to make a parachute, and I'll just make it on the way down quickly.
Bro, that's mean, bro.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time, bro, we can't even get to the jumping point, and that's where we'll stand at the top, just thinking.
We've already talked our way out of it without even standing at the top.
But if you jump off with a plastic bag and a couple of sticks and some sellotape, you'll figure it out, because you die if you don't figure it out, and that's actually probably a very serious point, bro. Your dreams die, and that's for me, bro, that's heartbreaking.
The feeling of regret, bro, is worse than actually taking the leap, I think.
What's the worst that can happen, bro? It doesn't work. Well, that's when you think about it, bro, like that's the worst.
Yeah.
The worst is it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's all good, I won't try something else.
You can recover, you can.
Yeah, but imagine lying on your deathbed, bro, and like being 80 and just being like, I didn't do.
I should have started that band, but I became a lawyer.
Because 100.
Bro, lucky you
100,
followed your gut and
100, bro. But and I think dreams are like ever evolving, bro, and ever changing. So like, I've managed to achieve one of my goals and live one of my dreams, but I've got other aspirations, bro, of like business and building, big business. Not so much for myself, but for my people, bro. Like I'm passionate about being Maori. I'm passionate about being from Rotorua, and like where I'm from, bro, is probably one of the lower. Well, it is, bro, one of the lowest socioeconomic sort of areas of Rotorua.
Yeah.
And so I'm passionate about those streets, bro. Where my whānau are. So, for me, I've got to jump off another cliff and make another parachute and just keep doing that, bro.
Do you think, if you think back to yourself when you were a teenager, this would probably be an obvious answer, but do you think the self-limiting thoughts and that have definitely dissipated, bro, over the years as you've achieved different milestones? So now you have the like, is your inner self talk now like, bro, you got this, you can do this, you can do
bro.
anything.
Yeah, it definitely.
You mind to, yeah.
It definitely is that, bro. As you like keep jumping off cliffs, bro, it gets easier and easier to jump off them, no matter what it is. Having that self-confidence. And a few years ago, bro, I read a book called Atomic Habits, and in that book, bro, James Clear, I think his name is, who was the author.
Book,
he talks about making votes towards who you want to be. You know, so if you want to be a marathon runner, you know, a lot of the times we'll set a goal and be like, oh, I want to be a marathon runner, and we'll try and wake up day one and run 40Ks. You know, it's just not going to happen. Whereas if you just make the goal smaller, and it's like, I'm just going to put my running shoes on every morning, you know, not even think about the running, just get that part.
Just the first step, babe.
You know, and then you habit stack on top of that. Because if you get the shoes on, there's a very high chance that you'll go get the car keys. If you get the car keys, you're probably going to get in the car. If you get in the car, you're probably going to drive to the gym. If you get to the gym, you know. So it's about taking that ultimate goal and bringing it down smaller. And so, like, my ultimate goal is to have financial freedom for myself, for my daughter, and for my wider whānau. Like, that's sort of like my overarching goal of my life. And so all of these little things that I'm doing, like SonsofZion, the cryptocurrency thing, the NFT stuff, the media stuff with my media company back in New Zealand, all of it is just pointing towards financial freedom.
Yeah.
And because I want financial freedom, bro, not for toys and things. I want it for time, bro.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to be time poor, because
time is our most precious commodity,
bro. Can't rewind,
Yep.
Can't go backwards. So the faster I can sort of free up time, that I could just spend it with the people I love, bro. Especially my olds, bro. Like, they're getting a little bit older now, getting on in life. So for me, bro, I kind of have to make sure that I can get real tunnel vision, bro, where I'll just work hard and, you know, not see whānau and that for like weeks or months.
You probably need, like, for a successful person, probably needs that kind of, you can't, there's in the world of distraction all over the place, bro, you know. Yeah. So
I need to remind myself to take, you know, days or weeks to just commit it to whānau, you know. Just go to mum and dad's and hang out, spend time with them, But that is the overarching theme of my life, bro, is financial freedom. And I think too, bro, because in my whānau, I that was never modelled to me, bro. I don't have any whānau who I would say are like truly financially free. You know, I got whānau who do well, who are doing all good. But I wouldn't say that they don't have to go to work on Monday, you know. Yeah. Or even myself, bro. Like, I still got a mahi. So cuz.
Yeah, and it's about, it's like, you know, as you achieve those milestones, bro, it's about becoming something that somebody can look up to and gather inspiration. Like, I'm in the same token, bro. Like, growing up in that lower socioeconomic upbringing and just learning about financial literacy and stuff that we should have learned in the school system, and now trying to learn it, you know, after making a few different financial mistakes.
I think now, bro, looking back, like, if someone taught me how to acquire a home, bro, earlier, you know, like
did you just get a home, bro?
Bro. So I just bought my first home in Papamore, down the beach there, which is beautiful and awesome.
One of the most beautiful spots.
Yeah, it is, bro, and I'm really blessed and thankful, bro, to be in the position to do that. But to be honest with you, bro, it could have happened probably 10 years earlier if I was financially literate, bro. Like, I've paid an arm and a leg for this place. Whereas I probably could have got it when I was like 22, 23. If I knew, you know, I went out to the airport and I was only making that $300. I actually could have made that go way further. But I was just, like I said, bro, I bought that WRX and I was like, like, you know, that doesn't mean, you know, but like, just, I wasn't thinking about the long game, bro. You know, so I probably could have paid like a quarter or even less for the whare that I just bought back then, you know, and today I could have maybe had 3 properties or 5 properties, you know, if I was more. But like I say, bro, like, I'm not hard on myself. Like, I didn't know. Who was telling me? Nobody, you know. And
but that's what's good about this kōrero now, for any, hopefully some young ones listen to it, bro, and they catch on to those mistakes, like learning about, like, saving 10 or 20% of your wage and making that mandatory to put away. Pay yourself first. There is the philosophy: pay yourself first, and then pay your bills. And, and if you're not earning enough after you've paid yourself first and paid your bills, then you need to
upskill
and increase, upskill, get a new skill set, and increase your income.
That's right, bro.
I mean, I know people say, "Oh, it's easy to say," but it's literally like that's fact. If you want dreams, you have to. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, totally, bro. Even things like taxes, like once I left the airport and I wasn't just getting normal income, and then I became self-employed with Sons of Zion, like even those sorts of things, bro. Understanding how tax works, understanding why we're taxed, where tax points are, tax brackets. You know, if you earn X amount, then your tax bracket's going to jump, and you're going to pay more tax, and how you can write things off against your business, and all of this sort of stuff, bro, would have been way more valuable than half the stuff I learned at school, bro. I can't even remember half the stuff I learned at school. It's just irrelevant, bro, to what I'm doing, I guess. Like, I think those foundational things would have been way more valuable, cuz.
Definitely, brother. Definitely, it gives you a lot more. Yeah, you could literally cut out 10 years, bro, of like doing the wrong thing. Yeah,
you know,
yeah, really set yourself up.
100%, bro. You know, and if by now I didn't, if I had 3 or 4 properties now, I could probably just be living off the rent, you know, and be time rich.
Yeah.
And bro, not to sound ungrateful, like I definitely am probably a bit more time rich than most people, where I can pick and choose what I want to do when I do it. But bro, I'm not financially free.
Yeah.
You know? Still got mahi to do, cuz, to get there.
Yeah, definitely. What do you I seen that with that Beaver project, bro, that you donated instruments to a school, or to 2 schools, eh? Which schools were they?
Yeah, so there was a kura roto in Rotorua, te kura kaupapa Maori o Hurunga-te-Rangi. So, them and Western Heights Primary School, bro. So we gave $10,000 worth of instruments to those kura. And the reason for doing that, bro, is I'm just a big believer in being or living my life from a standpoint of gratitude. So in order for this project to be blessed, I felt like we need to first be a blessing.
Yep.
You know? And that's why it was the very first thing we did, bro. Go out there, give back to the community, and therefore the universe or God will bless our project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one, eh? When you give first, bro, to receive, or give more.
Yeah, because it's a blessing to be a blessing, eh, bro? There's nothing feels better than, when you get that good feeling, bro, when you know you've done something really choice for someone, really good. Yeah.
Have you done any any performances at high schools and stuff like that, bro? I know like he's a lot bigger now these days, but
bro, we have, bro. Yeah, and it feels awesome, bro, because the kids come up to you and bro, can you sign? Oh, not bro, like, can you sign my t-shirt or my uniform? And I'm like, are we allowed to sign your uniform?
Uncle. You're in the uncle stage now.
I'm in the uncle stage now, cuz holy.
Yeah, bro, same, likewise. And like, have you had any, in terms of your music, have you had any people just random off the street or in the crowd, like fans, and that say how your music has, yours and the boys' music has impacted them?
Yeah, 100, bro. Yeah, both in person and people message our page, and I was sharing with you the other day, bro, that it's not only in happy times but in sad times as well. Recently a lady came and shared her story with me that her husband passed away. I think he had cancer, and they got married to Talu. So Talu, and they played it at his tangi as well. And I guess for me, bro, what a privilege, bro, to be involved in that man's life,
their story,
and in their story, bro. In a very, very tiny way, but every time they hear that song, or every time she hears that song, it can remind her of her husband and their love and what they shared.
Yeah.
Cause can't put a dollar value on that. That's pretty.
You get to be a part of the soundtrack to people's lives, bro?
Yeah, bro.
There's not too many other areas and like jobs or contributions that you can make that are as great as music. It's a lasting legacy.
It's a lasting legacy, bro. And when I'm long gone, my daughter will always have dad and her kids and their kids, bro. They'll always be able to listen to koro.
Yeah, koro's mean.
Which is cool, bro.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, bro. Just in regards to the future, bro, for our rangatahi, for like financial literacy and that crypto space, or the future, bro, of where that's going. And I know we talked about coding and stuff. Yeah. What do you think, bro? What recommendations would you give to parents out there and kids that are trying to find their way in life and possibly build financial freedom as well.
Yeah, bro. Coding's huge. Like when we built the Eager Beaver NFT project, it's hard to find local coders back in NZ, and I've heard from other people that it's quite hard to find here in Australia as well. Like some of our coding was done in Aotearoa, but we had to go offshore to Canada to find people who have the skill set necessary, to build on top of these blockchains. Yeah, bro. So, for parents out there, I think if your child has sort of like a knack for computers and IT and that sort of stuff, or even gaming, bro, get them into coding, because like we were talking about the bro Sam, like games can change your life, eh? Like what Fortify's done, bro.
So it's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. So for our rangatahi, there's definitely a space there for our young ones to come through and fill that gap. And as the space develops, bro, we're going to need coders more and more. So definitely the coding side of things. I think there's an opportunity for our young people who are artistic, whether that be music, painting, drawing, photography. You can NFT your photography now, bro, and really, really set yourself up. And like we were talking about earlier this morning, man, you can literally change your life overnight depending on these markets, depending on your timing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Because of that supply and demand and creating value to many people around the world. If your kids can start getting involved in what is blockchain technology, what is like coding, what is Web 3.0, the metaverse, all of that stuff. Because we have a lot of kids, I bet you there's a lot of parents that might listen to this that have kids that are just constantly on the games. And if they got an interest in that, get them off the games that aren't going to make them money and get them into the games that can make them
100%, bro. 100%. Bro, and all it takes, bro, is the right person to say the right thing on the right platform, and your life can change. So, for instance, I don't know, you might make some sort of game, and Gary Vee might stumble across it, bro. And all it takes is for him to reshare it, and you'll sell out.
Yeah.
Hey, just because of who he is.
So true, bro. Because we have. Oh, sorry, what were we going to say?
I was just going to say that's that saying, bro, that luck is where preparation meets. What is it? Luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
Opportunity, yeah.
That's right, cuz.
Yeah.
So that's why, bro, I'm always playing in these spaces, bro. Because if I'm not in the space, I've got no chance of doing anything, So it's just about being present, trying things.
Because you may not be the expert in that area, bro, but you're still there. You're
still there,
in that
bro.
Space. You get the opportunity to pick people's brains.
100%, bro. And that's why I go along to a lot of things, bro, like networking things or with these people, because you might just have the right yarn with the right person, And that's happened for Sons a lot of the times. A lot of our opportunities has just come from being in a setting, having a few beers, and someone's there with an opportunity.
Yeah, bro. What was the quote again?
Luck is where opportunity meets
preparation.
Yeah. So it's about just always being ready.
Yeah.
And when that opportunity comes, boom, you can jump.
Yep.
Yeah. But if you're unprepared, you'll miss it.
Yeah. And you do get a lot of like whānau and friends that are like, oh, that fellow was lucky, he just cracked it because of that. But it was just consistency and persistency.
Consistency, cuz that's huge.
Yeah. Just going on from in terms of the financial literacy and there's that coding and stuff like that with the kids. What are your hopes for the future, bro, with our rangatahi? Like, wouldn't it be cool to have like some hubs in that that had where they could go, especially in the lower socio classes, like where they could go and learn that stuff? Because I would only imagine that access to computers and to learn that would be really hard.
Yeah,
for a lot of families.
Yeah, bro. Definitely having hubs or spaces, safe spaces, bro, where our kids can come and learn about those sorts of things. My hopes for our rangatahi, bro, is that it's normal to be a successful Maori.
Yeah,
that it's actually normal, bro. That it's not even
okay,
and it's okay, bro. Yeah, that we don't have to have. Hopefully don't have to have these conversations, bro, where we have to try and think of ways to, I guess, remedy generational curses, bro.
Yeah.
And poverty. And like, bro, I say that with the utmost respect, bro, to our people before us. I think colonization, bro, has just really, really damaged not just us as Maori, but you know, Aboriginal people and all sorts of Indigenous people, bro. But we can't do nothing, because we've got to do something, bro. And, I think these sorts of kōrero, people like yourself, bro, and myself, and a lot of our friends who are trying to do better and be better, to get that kōrero out there, you know, to let them know that there are actually Maori heroes that they can look up to. You know, sort of jump on the tail of and be successful, bro. That's my hopes for our rangatahi. And, you know, successful in whatever it is they want to do. You know, it doesn't have to be music. You don't have to be a superstar. Don't
have to be a millionaire either. Success.
Don't have to be a millionaire. Don't have to be a millionaire, but, you know, just live a happy and comfortable life. Living your purpose, Living your purpose, bro. And feeling good inside, bro. You know, like, that's probably the main thing, is when you feel good, because I got a couple of very, very wealthy people in my life that I know, and they're sad, bro. You know? Heaps of money, but
if you're not happy within, bro.
Happy within, because chasing things out there and, you know, trying to remedy how they're feeling on the inside with external things. I love that notion, bro, saying that it should be normalized to you know, that we are successful as Maori, you know, that we can be successful and that we can cheer each other on and be happy for one another, because you know, growing up for me, there are some different whānau members in that may not necessarily look at your success and look at my success that I've had in a favor and be happy for you.
Be happy. It's sort of like, like I've been accused of, oh, this fella thinks he's better than us kind of thing, you know, but it's certainly not that. It's like I'm just wanting to be better and do better to then be in the position to give back. Ultimately, that's my ultimate thing, is to have the time on my hands to give back into areas that I really want to give back.
100%, bro. And like, how can we help anyone else climb to the top of a mountain if we're all just at the bottom? Like, someone's got to go up there, bro. Someone's got to figure out the path.
Bro, it's like tons of whānau at the bottom of the mountain, and someone's climbing up, and everyone's like
throwing rocks at the cuzzy.
Hit him with the leg out. He belongs down here.
I know, and to be honest, bro, like I don't even think that side of things, the tall poppy thing, I don't even think it's a Maori thing, bro. It's just a New Zealand thing, bro. Like, if anyone starts to get, you know, do a little bit well, or, you know, oh, well, I have to bring that cuzzy down a few pegs. Don't care, nah.
There's I done this workshop last week, bro, and it was regards to growing up in poverty, and the focus wasn't on necessarily culture and a specific race or specific skin color. It was more around social class. And they were saying that, you know, with that lower socio class, it's because of the lack of resources, and not just material resources like money and items and stuff like that. It's like even relationships, positive role models, positive relationships and stuff like that. And I think, you know, and I said to them, because the overarching thing was they were saying that it was under-resourced and the relationships were very fractured. And I was like, so if we're under-resourced in the lower socioeconomic schools and areas, why can't we draw from the ones that are over-resourced and bring them back over to here? And then you could see that, because it was in predominantly a middle-class setting that I was doing the training with. You could see the penny drop for a lot of people here. They're like, oh, no, but if we take those resources and put it up there, then this will come up and then we might go down. And
It's human nature, bro, to, how would you say it, kind of put yourself first, bro? So for a lot of these people who are in those, I guess, higher socioeconomic sort of classes. Well, you see it on Facebook, bro. Like, they're like, why should I lose, or why should I give, or why are my taxes going to helping people who have too many kids, or you know, there's a lot of that, bro. You know, oh well, they had 6 kids, that's their problem. It's like, well, you can say that, but it's not the kids' problem. Maybe the parents made poor decisions, but those kids still need kai. They still need clothes. So there was a comedian, bro, a black comedian over in the States. I forgot which one. I think it was, who was it? Don't say Chris Rock. Nah. After the cousin just
and they were saying I forgot who it was, but he was saying that, you know, each, like, you've got your different cultures. You've got your black community, your Latino community, your Asian, you know, and they have the Chinatown and stuff, and in Chinatown their culture, they spend the money there, bro, so the money keeps coming back in, and they build businesses, and their business owners there. The Italian community have their businesses, and they shop there,
eat there.
And he said, but in the black community, they're owned by all the different Asian and Indian owners, and the black community spend in their community, but then the money gets taken out from those shop owners and the business owners back to the other communities. So there's not what do you call it?
Like a reciprocating, like feedback loop of
of money and building that building that neighborhood up and that community up. I think. Do you think that's the same back home, bro? In terms of where there's predominantly Maori communities, that because we're not the majority of business owners in that area, so the money's going out of our communities.
That's right, bro. Yeah.
It's like Nipsey Hussle, how he was buying back the block kind of concept, eh?
Yeah. That's right, bro. Like, and bro, you can't knock a lot of our foreign whānau who move to NZ. You know, like
definitely not.
Like a lot of our Indian whānau, I had a lot of Indian friends, bro, at school when I moved to Auckland, because, you know, there's a lot of Indian people up there, and man, I gotta take my hat off to them, because like they'll come from India, bro, and like everyone will live together in one house. And I mean everyone, bro, like the kids, their kids, the nan, the koro. There's like 20 of them in the house. They'll all contribute to that whare, pay it off. Bang, get the next one, and then some of them will move to that one, and they'll all send the money that way. You know, and this is how they sort of.
That's the way to do it, bro. It's smart, eh? It's building the buying power, eh?
Yeah. And so, I don't know, bro.
Because us as Maori, we get hoha living with one another.
We get hoha living with one another, bro. And like we struggle. I can only speak for my whānau to make decisions, bro. You know, like even on the smallest level, bro. Like, I don't know, what should we do with Nan's whare? You know, might be the conversation. Uncle, this fella thinks this, auntie thinks that, and just squabble, cause
definitely
can't agree on anything, cause but you are right, bro. I think that
and it's definitely not taking a stab at any of our you know, the whānau from different cultures back home, but it's just that's how I see the how us as Maori trying to get up out of that socio class. Our culture, we got to take ownership for it, and we got to work together.
Bro. And reinvest into ourselves, bro. I heard a hui the other day for some mahi I was doing with a rangatira when it comes to business back home, Pat McPhee, and he was saying that if you can get more resource, like more money into the home, it fixes so many things, bro, you know, even in terms of like a child being able to learn. Like a lot of our kids are going to kura with empty puku, bro. Like,
bro,
you know, a kid who goes with a full tummy, who's had breakfast, love you, darling, have an awesome day. That's way, you know, I would assume that it's way easier for that kid to learn than a kid who gets a boot up the ass in the morning, no kai, you know, no love, get out of here, you know. That's two, they're in the same class. But obviously that kid is starting from a much, you know, lower.
Then total different headspaces, bro?
Total different headspace, bro. Am I valued? Am I loved? Why is my puku empty, you know?
And then
I don't know what the
teacher only sees the
he's been naughty, he's not listening.
Playing up, he's been naughty.
So I don't know what the fix is there, cuz, but I want to fix it, you know. I want to contribute to fixing it.
It takes.
It's just so deep, bro.
It is, bro. There's
years
so many
and
facets.
years and years.
We definitely can't solve it overnight, but you know, I hope even if there's just one or two listeners, bro, that you know, I've had the privilege of working in the community services sector for the last 10 years and learning about trauma and how it impacts the brain and you know, from an infant to 7 years old is when our strongest neural pathways have been formed. And so that's probably one of the most that is the most important phase of as a parent raising your child right and getting those neural pathways set so they can be set up for a positive future.
And I think we're doing it because, like, I've had conversations with my parents, and like my mum and dad were like, "Man, we didn't even dream of not having a 9 to 5. Like, you know, like how you live, son, on your own terms, and you know these few businesses that you've got going on, that didn't even enter their minds.
Yeah,
you know, they were just like, I become a butcher or I become a builder or whatever, and that's all cool too.
Yeah,
but I think we are making a change, bro. You know, like what you were talking about with your super, bro, and like diversifying your finances, and like for the generation before us, or at least in my family situation, they didn't even think about that sort of stuff, because
yeah,
just wasn't even normal, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Lila, my daughter, she's going to know all about, you know, diversifying her portfolio and you know, taxes, and so I think we're doing it, cuz we're doing it slowly, but
definitely, bro. I think you know, in terms of the previous generations and what they, because you know, we're so lucky in this day and age with the access to information, the internet. We have so many different resources, and it's resources, bro. That's it. Like it's they were under resourced back in the generation before us and the generation before that. They were literally in their small hometowns, in their same circle of friends, their circle of influence. And if the only mahi was at the meatworks, everyone worked at the meatworks. And that's and that's not to put it down. That's just literally what they had to do. They had to do that to provide, and we owe it to them, bro, for a lot of our parents, our grandparents, and that, for putting dreams aside. And just working mahi, like on the grind, mahi hard. And now we have there's no excuse, bro, to not follow your dreams and be bigger and better with the access to information and building the different skill set.
That's right, cuz. And like we're so privileged and lucky now to know that being entrepreneurial, or like having side hustles or doing side businesses is even a thing. Like if you think back to when our parents were at school, it just, that, like you say, bro, that information wasn't there, and the education system that was sort of developed, you know, around the Henry Ford sort of times, the industrial era, it was made to churn out employees.
It was,
You know, it wasn't made to churn out entrepreneurs.
They wanted people to follow into
be
that
workers,
thing, 'cause they needed
get on the wheel, be a rat on a wheel.
Bro.
You know, and bro, like you say, bro, I'm so thankful to my parents and our grandparents, bro, for just being, you know, just mahi up.
Means sacrifice, bro.
Sacrifice, guys. And like you say, bro, like we've got pretty much no excuse now, bro. Hey.
Bro. I'm grateful to meet a like-minded person, bro, and you're doing amazing things, and
sure, bro.
I think maybe we should wrap it up there.
Bro.
But you know, it's been an absolute honor, bro, to have you on this Navigate Your Purpose podcast, and I just hope that someone takes some gem droppers away from this, and and I wish you all the best, bro, on your NFT project, Eager Beavers, your business ventures that you're going to do in the future, and especially the music that you're putting out with Sons of Zion and all the band, bro. Big ups to them, and you're really doing well and impacting our people in a positive way.
Thank you, my bro.
Bro, I'll put on this outro song, and much love, whānau, and it's been a privilege.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Make way for purpose, listen to your heart. There is no reason to believe that you can't fly.